Hello, survivors, and welcome to Pathfinder Gallowspire Survivors. Whew, that was a mouthful, and I had to take a breath after that. It's quite a long name, but it's fantastic as part of the Pathfinder series. If any of you have ever played the tabletop and or just the Pathfinder series on Steam, the RPG, then you'll know a little bit more about the game. Now, we got three characters to play or to start off with. We got Milaris, Dariel, and Novenda. You can play as either male or female. I just stick to male. It's the default, although it does ask you in the very beginning. Anyway, you do get to pick one of the characters and then you get to select a companion. So you get to pick one of either the rogue or the fighter if you play the wizard, or if you play the rogue, you get to pick between the wizard and the fighter, and so on and so forth. Now, these are the characters. Again, like I mentioned, you can change between male and female. There are attributes for the classes. You can change your character's name. Right now, I'm not really interested in doing all of that yet. There are class attributes. You do get class levels as well. I think as you play a bit more, as you level up the class, you get more points, and then your attributes are capped depending on the level of your class as well. You can just read this, pause it, and read what each thing does. Right now, we're not going to get too much into that just yet. And then we've got the talents as well. Each character class has different talents that do different things, and then we've also got a whole bunch of potions that we found which do a whole lot of different things, like healing, faster movement speed, armor, energy breath, which is like the Vampire Survivors Fruity Tooty, where you spew out a fire that deals damage, and then absorption or the vacuum, like in every other game, is where you pick something up and all the XP gets pulled into you. The game also has a bunch of quests where it says kill so many elites, clear so many floors, have any potion active for 300 seconds, and you can re-roll them, or you just end up doing them. I'm not going to re-roll just yet, but the game is only going to be available on the 14th of September. We did get the privilege of being able to show it to you today. So let's get straight into it. It says, with nearby nearly all of Aveston in the tyrant's grasp, the Shining Crusade formed as the last-ditch effort to turn the tide against Tar Bafon. So this is the crypt of floor 1 on adventure mode. There is only one difficulty available right now. Your luck has run out, Lich, so let's go. Now the first thing you can see is the time survived and enemy slain, and this is our XP bar. It is very, very clean and not a lot of clutter on the screen. We do have our skills over there. It shows you our energy barrage skill over there, the timer or the cooldown for it, and the cooldown for our companion skill as well. And then when we level up, we get to pick a card. We get to pick up passives, which we can only have 4 of, and attacks, which we can only have 3 of, including our force barrage, so our auto attack, and then we get to pick 3 separate other abilities. So we are going to, let's see over here, increase the duration to and reduce cooldowns by while active. So that's, oh wait, that's our, okay, I'm going to take freeze time. That is our actual, like, ultimate. Each character has a different ultimate, and in this case our wizard gets the freeze time ability. When it is up, I'll show you exactly what it does, and we'll talk about it then. But I've tried 2 playthroughs where we've actually landed up with different skills. There are 3 different elements on the wizard currently in the game, and those are us, well, actually 4 now, because I'm looking at force. Force is an element, so we got force, we got cold, there's fire, as well as lightning. So we are going to be picking up some of those. It looks like we've actually got a passive over here, Paralyzing Shock. The stunned effect of your electric spells lasts 28% time longer. Or we got Freeze, which is the duration and reduction cooldown of our freeze time. I'm not sure what to go for over here. We could create a cone of frigid air towards a random enemy within range, and that has a slow duration. I think we're actually going to go for the blizzard. It's going to maybe come in handy for the first boss, and that does look pretty cool as well. So there we picked up one of the blue potions. That blue potion gives us a vacuum. I do want to try and go for only cold skills and see where that takes us. We've got immolation here, where it says that your fire spells apply burning damage at an additional 100% over 3 seconds, which is actually pretty cool. But we want to go for our storm because we already picked a cold skill already. So let's stick to cold. Again, unfortunately, you do start with the 4 skill. You don't really get to pick a random, skill to go with it. But Flame Vortex, I did get the opportunity to have a look at it. In our previous run, we didn't really record it, or I did record it, but again, it wasn't such a great recording, so that's why we're here. But I will show you all the other classes in a recording if that's something you want to see. So drop a like down below if that is something that you do want to see. And over there you saw we opened up a chest, and we get to roll the dice, and depending on the roll of the dice, you get that amount of loot. So again, I was talking about one thing and I didn't want to just cut myself off and then talk about the chest. So let's go and pick up this other chest and we'll show you exactly what happens. So we're going to pick it up just like in, oh man, what's that game we've been playing? Well, here we go. We rolled the dice. As you can see, we got a 20. All of the loot, it rolls between different numbers. Depending on what you roll is how much of the loot we get. We got all 5 of them. And then depending on the enemy you kill or how lucky your RNG is, depends on the actual rewards that you can get. So sometimes you can get uncommon, sometimes you can get rare, epic, or even legendary upgrades from the chests. Hopefully we do get some in the chest so we can show you with a really decent roll. So there's a rare one. I doubt we're going to hit a 20, but we did hit a 15, which gave us a 3 of the upgrades. So that is fantastic. Really, really smooth gameplay coming from the game. I was telling us, talking about the different... Oh man, the chest, what it reminded me of, it's not Soulstone, it was of... Oh, yet another zombie survivor, sorry. So when you go and save like the survivor, or when you go and pick up your chest and all that, you have to spend a little bit of time standing on the actual chest to get it to open. So it's very similar over here. So enemies slowed by your cold spells also deal 10% reduced damage for the duration of the slow. That's going to work very well because we are running 3 slow or R skills. So that's really, really good. We've got a nice little upgrade over there. So let's see, do we roll at least a 12? Oh man, come on, 1 number off. That's just such a pity. So generally the game really, really fun. I do need to see what all the fire skills are, what all the lightning skills are for the wizard. I love playing wizard, so I am very, very happy to try and keep up with that and level up my wizard and see where we can go from there. I do want to try all the other characters as well, and that's what we're going to be doing before the game is released. We will do updates on all of the characters just so we can see who is who and what they do and the different skills in the game. And we did hit a 20 roll over there, which is fantastic. Let's go and claim our juicy loot now. The only thing I don't like is, although you have to use your mouse to like click on options and things like that, we aren't able to move your characters like the way that they face. So it would be nice if they faced the way that your mouse was as well, even if there was the auto aiming in the game. It's just nice to have that little bit of control over the direction of the character with your mouse. Maybe if they made it like hold down the mouse even, or something like that. But I don't know what happened there. I think I right clicked and that activated my special ability accidentally, so we didn't even get to talk about that. I thought maybe something had just happened there, but for some reason clicking something, or maybe it was something we picked up off the ground, I don't even know, but somehow magically our ability got activated without me pressing my R button. So we'll check. It must be something to do with regards to reduce the time for single focus stack. So that's going to be tested now the next time it gets upgraded. Alright, let's see what we rolled now. Do we roll a 10? Okay, sometimes it's very difficult to see what's going to be rolled. It's a nice factor of RNG. Sometimes you don't necessarily need the roll, but it does make a run is very different every single time. And as you can see, we have slain 400 of 400 enemies. A portal does open up and they give us 30 seconds to go into the portal. So it does give you a little bit of time to look for those chests that you may not have picked up and to pick them up. Depending on how far the chest is though, you might have to, or you might not make it in time based on the timer. But at least while this is rolling your loot numbers and the dice, you don't have to worry about the timer. It does stop. But chests keep like auto-generating, or there's a whole lot of chests all over the place. I wouldn't make that one in 10 seconds, so we're just going to keep moving. After 70 years, the Shining Crusade at last succeeded in defeating Tarbafon and sealing him away within his shadowy lair of Gallowspire. So now we're on Crypt Floor 2. Let's continue, and we're just going to keep going. So now we need to slay 500 enemies, and the timer of our survive does restart on each floor. But when you die, or if you beat the floor, it does actually tell you, this is your timer, or that's how long you had your run last for. A measly 11. It's fine. We did upgrade our Force Barrage, which is like our auto attack. It's not really an auto attack, but it's our main attack on the wizard. I don't believe right now there's any way to change your main attack. I think you are stuck with the Force Barrage, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with the skill. It actually deals quite a decent amount of damage, and you also shoot more than one at a time, so it does make it very, very strong. I mean, their Force Barrage is dealing 26 damage, and there are 4 projectiles each, so it can do up to nearly 96 damage right now, so that's pretty good. Sorry, maths is bad. That's 104 damage, not 96. Anyway, Howling Blizzard also dealing quite a lot of damage. The range and size also gets increased each level, or each upgrade. But luckily, each upgrade is slightly different from the next, so you are inclined to try and get more impressive upgrades if possible. Have that luck stat. Look for the bigger upgrades, like over here. The uncommon upgrade gives us another projectile count, so we will take that, because having more projectiles means we can hit more enemies and or deal more damage to a single enemy. So who wouldn't want to get the upgrade for that one? And being our main skill, it just makes sense as well. Let's see what happens on a common upgrade for Force Barrage. No projectile count or damage. It's only cooldown and projectile speed. Although, I mean, cooldown is kind of relative to how much damage you can do, because the lower cooldown you have, the more you're going to attack, and therefore the more damage you're going to do. So even though it isn't like a +1 damage, it does positively affect the amount of damage you can do with the skill in terms of DPS count. So any upgrade there does increase the DPS. We do get our special ability up again. I am going to right click now and see what happens. And yes, it does look like right clicking affects your actual ability. So you don't have to push R, you can just push right click and you can hit the enemies that way. And now we've frozen time, and as soon as time unfreezes, all those attacks then go towards the character or the enemy, and we had quite a lot of our Force Barrage sitting there waiting to hit them. We just missed that 20 roll. It would have been really, really cool to get that epic movement speed, but we did get the epic numbing cold. We got an upgrade to Force Barrage's damage again, and an upgrade to freezing time. So pretty good roll over there. That was an elite, or like a super elite boss chest, I guess. And also over here we do see our quests. We can remove that by pressing tab, but sometimes it's nice to just have a look at it while you are playing. So you kind of see how far it is, or how easy it is to get some of these quests done compared to others. Like killing elites, you do need to kill quite a lot of them. Killing 200 does take quite a bit of time, as well as, the potions are pretty easy. We're going to go for Ice Storm over here. Hopefully we can get enough area of effect on the Ice Storm. It does seem or feel quite lackluster compared to some of the other skills I have played with. There is another skill called Fire Vortex. We did see it in the level ups in the beginning, and we didn't take it though because I wanted to play with an icy build today. But the one thing about it is you can't control where you shoot it, which is a little bit unfortunate, because there could be an enemy in front of you and you really want to hit those enemies and it will shoot behind you. So I don't know how the targeting on it works. Maybe I can read about it somewhere, or maybe they can add a glossary in the future so you can see all of the skills, because there isn't one right now on the game. So glossary would be really cool, where you can see all the skills or available skills on each character, instead of just being able to be like, oh, there's ice mastery, electric and fire mastery. And then also, are they going to add in the future, again, being an early access, are we going to get access to other skills, not just those typings? I do know it is based off of the Pathfinder series, so it's possible that if the main game itself only has those elements, then that's going to stay that way. Unfortunately, I can't remember much. I didn't play a lot of Pathfinder myself, but if you did play a lot, let me know down in the comment section if there were other elements for the wizard in Pathfinder, the original game, or the RPG, and then, you know, it gives us a good indication of where this game could go in terms of, you know, characters as well as skills and things like that. But being based off of another game is fantastic. It does make content a lot, you know, fluid in terms of upgrades and where you're heading. But being a spin-off, well, not spin-off because it's the same name, you know, they're able to use Pathfinder, so it is part of the series. So having that behind you does make it a lot easier to be like, okay, this is going to be the next character, or this is going to be where the next ability and things like that. And at least they've got like a strong focus as to where they're heading with the game, which is really, really good for games like these, because you don't want to have to fumble along and be like, oh, we should have done this instead of that. But oof, we just got 4 rare upgrades. That is fantastic. Increased damage for force projectile, freeze time, and howling blizzard, getting some really, really nice upgrades over there. I am liking the howling blizzard. I'm not liking this cold that cold skill over there too much. It's very random. But for over 900 years, Tar-Baphon has been trapped within Gallowspire, plotting his escape and rebuilding his power. So I really like reading that. It's quite fun. I don't know, maybe I should like get into D&D. It sounds pretty fun to read, like be a dungeon master, you know? Read a whole story. I don't know, did any of you watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie? I went to go see it. It was actually pretty decent. I really enjoyed it. There were some things there that I thought were really, really fun and really cool, but I know a lot of people have like expectations for movies like that, and maybe it didn't really meet their expectation. So Frostbite is also, it's a decent skill. At least it goes for your you know, closest target, it would seem, so that's decent enough. I just don't like the I think it's called the snowstorm, but we'll see the level up when I get it, what the skill name is called again. I haven't played enough of the game to know every single skill and what they're called, so do forgive me for that. But you know, we'll eventually get there. It's that skill over there. I need to find out what it's named, because I don't really like it, although it is probably very strong. For me and my playstyle, it's not so great. I do like the ice one, that one over there. It does remind me of like the freezing blow from Soulstone Survivors as well. But oof, nice huge upgrade there. The Howling Blizzard's the one that I like, where it shoots the cone of frigid air towards a random enemy. We got a nice damage upgrade there, 94 damage right now, really, really good. Force Barrage got some upgrades to its attack time, which is great. And we've got even more going forward now. So hopefully the past 2 times I've played, we have been unable to beat the boss just yet. Ice Storm's the one we don't like. I'm not actually going to upgrade it. Getting the damage on Force Barrage is going to be more beneficial to me. And we're going to see what else we can get. But the boss is very, very difficult. I have not even got him to half life yet. So I think you do have to invest quite a bit of time into playing to be able to beat him. Or maybe there are some skills that you take that are really, really strong compared to others. Like the Snowstorm one doesn't seem like it would be very good against the boss. But the Frigid Blast is going to be relatively strong. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the boss can, we can get a bit further on there. But he is a very, very difficult boss, and I'm very excited to show you guys on this boss fight. We are about 200 kills away from fighting him as well, and we'll see what happens there. But I feel a lot stronger than I have for, other times of playing. But let's go and increase our damage on the Force Barrage, get ourselves more and more and more damage going over there. That's going to put us in a much better spot. Kill these guys. What's really nice is it looks like you can actually damage or destroy enemy projectiles as well with your skills. So as long as your skill is aiming in the direction of that enemy's projectile, you are able to counter it with your own skills, which is really, really nice. But then it does make me want to have, it does make me want to have the auto aim turned off so that I can aim everything myself. So that when I am attacked, I am able to defend myself a little bit more fluidly, I guess is a nice way of putting it, or, making sure that you are able to defend yourself. Over here, we're going to go for the freeze time. That's just going to increase the duration when they are cold. That's going to just help us defensively. And then we can upgrade our... again, I'm not going to upgrade the Ice Storm. I'm not really happy with it. Let's reroll. Maybe we'll get something decent. We can go reroll again. There we go. And upgrade to our Howling Blizzard. That's a nice skill to upgrade for us. And now we can just open this chest and then move on to the boss fight. So hopefully we can do well against him. Otherwise, Dugbo, you're going to be very happy because I died in a game or in a video. So if I die, this one's for you, Dugbo. Pretty, it didn't last 2 seconds, like you wanted in the comment section the other day. But Tardabafon is master of the Whispering Way, a necromantic cult whose practice are only whispered and never recorded. So let's see, we are against the Grave General. They say that a lesson must be learned 1,000 times before it truly sets in. And so I shall cut you down again and again until you learn what it means to truly despair. Then I say it's time you ready yourself for a surprise. Your challenge grows bold despite your many victories, my general. Alright, so we're up against the Grave General. We seem to be dealing... Alright. Oh my gosh, okay. It doesn't matter how many times I fought this guy before. He is still very, very scary. So we seem to be dealing a lot more damage than we have before, which is fantastic. But oh my gosh, I nearly just got wrecked there. Well, I did get wrecked there. My life just went. We're on 1 life, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how we are going to survive this. And for okay, we got some life here somehow, but we need to just be careful. It does look like we are in some form of... oh my goodness, okay. So he did wreck us. It says, flee, lest Tardabafon adds you to my legion. So we did die, unfortunately. Like I said, it is a terrible, well, not terrible, it's a fantastic boss fight. It is extremely difficult, so it does require you to level up and get a lot stronger. But we do get some progression, so we gain XP. We nearly finished some of our quests. That shows you the stats if you want to have a look at them. And there's a lot to learn still, so our character is still level 2. As you can see, we do get rewards over there. So we got 1 available point. The more levels you get, or the more you get there, the more chance or the more upgrades you do get as well. So we do get available points to use, but we can't use them on anything. Our stats, we can't really, well, we can upgrade our intelligence for damage or things like that. I might start putting some stuff into Constitution for increased life. Actually, we'll put 1 in there. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.